Good afternoon. We love a new afternoon. That means it's a new day. Hi there. My name is Mr. Darnell. Can everybody say on the count of three, Mr. Darnell? 1, 2, 3. Hey! And this is my friend Miss Donna. On the count of three, can we say hi to Miss Donna? 1, 2, 3. Fantastic. So today, what we're going to be talking about a lot is rest and relaxation.
Hi, my name is Monica Battle, and I am the principal of Rising Stars on Vine.
I am Jennifer Senft. I am a preschool teacher, and I'm also the team lead.
I am Toria Black, and I am a third-year teacher at Rising Stars Vine.
My name is Emily Hutchison, and I am a teacher here at Rising Stars on Vine, and have 19 little preschoolers.
What does rest mean to you?
So rest is basically letting your mind have a peace, and then like your body being able to relax.
And I feel like if you can shut the mind off, you can get actual rest with the body.
Being able to calm my body, my spirit, my mind, and rejuvenate, escape, and be still.
Let's take a deep breath in so we can inhale that good day. And now let's release it all.
Giant frog hop up. 1, 2, 3, go. Whoop. Do it again. 1, 2, 3, go. Whoop. Last one. 1, 2, 3, go. Whoop. Cool.
When are you most at rest?
I feel like weirdly I'm most at rest when I'm about to go to sleep and I'm preparing for rest.
I am most at rest on like a weekend, like in between that Saturday and Sunday point, when I get able to just lay down and just be like at one with myself, at peace.
I feel like I'm rarely most at rest. I think a lot of times while I want to be restful, your mind is going 30 miles a minute and you can't do anything all at once. So turning the mind off, I think, is the hardest part. And so, you may get sleep, but you don't necessarily always get rest.
It's interesting because I am not always most at rest when I'm sleeping at night, and it's kind of counterintuitive because you would think that's when I would be most restful, but there are definitely things that keep me up at night, worries that I have from personal to professional, but just when you think about all the things going on in the world and the effect that it has on people, for me, it comes to my brain at night, so it's hard to calm that noise into rest. I am most at rest when my body's calm. I'm in a space that feels good, comfortable, and safe. So it could be on a hike and I just sit down under a tree and I'm wide awake, but I actually can emerge from that experience feeling a little more rested sometimes than I do after waking up from a good night's sleep.
And just a quiet little march. 1, 2, 6, 7, 8. Glue one foot down. Glue your other foot down. And reach up, breathe in. Okay. And breathe out, touch your toes. Come all the way flat onto your belly. Good. And now we're going to pretend like we're snakes. We're going to hiss.
You gotta lay down on your belly, Michael. Lay down on your belly.
Can everybody do that with us?
Lay down. You gotta be a snake. You gotta lay down. Be a snake. Nice. And now we're wake up your belly. Wake up your heart. Wake up your head. Then we're gonna reach up to the sun. And we're gonna say thank you, sun.
Thank you,
Kind of gobble up the sun.
Can everybody show me what a starfish looks like with their body? Yes, big star, right? So now So we're gonna go from here, and then I'm gonna ask you to make your body teeny, teeny, tiny like a mouse. Now, can everybody go tiny, tiny like a mouse? Big in the face too. How big can your face be? And now, small, small. What is your favorite thing about feeling well rested?
My favorite thing about feeling well rested is definitely the energy you have.
That I can get moving, I can be active that day, just kind of really in the moment.
The crispness you kind of get with clarity of mind, but also just the extra burst of energy that you feel without having to take more caffeine in.
The calmness that I feel within my body, like I feel like I'm at one, and like at peace, and like it's a bit of happiness.
My favorite thing about feeling well rested is the energy I have after I feel rested, and positivity, energy, and clarity. So for me, I can reach a point where my mind can't take anymore, and I know if I don't rest, I'm not going to be as productive. So after a good rest, I'm clear, I'm focused, and I'm productive.
Is there a specific place where when you feel rested in your body? Is it like a feeling in your chest, or is it like something in your head? Like, is there a specific place where you feel that rest?
I think the place I feel most well rested is in my brain. Like, I can think clearer.
Like my mind, like I feel like refreshed and rejuvenated, and I'm like, okay, I'm ready to take on the day.
Definitely my shoulders. I feel like shoulders is where I feel when I can tell I'm well rested based on how I'm carrying myself, and definitely when I'm not carrying myself, I can feel it. You know, it definitely holds the weight in my shoulders.
It would be in this area, right? So I collect tension throughout the day, here and here. And when I'm well rested, I just feel free of any tension. And when I'm rested, I just feel like a loose noodle, and I just feel good, yeah.
And now, I want you to start to feel, as you're breathing, feel the air filling your back. Every time you're breathing, can you feel it moving through your back? Yeah. So just put your hands right there on your back and feel the air. And now let's all take one big inhale together. 1, 2, 3, inhale. 1, 2, 3, exhale, and melt into the mat as much as you can melt into the mat. And now just stay here for a little bit, breathing. And on the count of 3, we're all gonna sit up, and we're gonna sit tall. 1, 2, 3. Sitting tall. Describe your perfect picture of what rest looks like in an image.
I would say the perfect picture of being rested would be, well, a place is on the water with my family and just like watching the waves go.
Listening to the ocean waves or hearing the sounds of nature. Open space, free, calm, aesthetically pleasing. So literally like all of my senses are just happy. Like it's that kind of place.
I think back to when I went camping. When I was out in the middle of the woods, I had a hammock, tent. It was just calm, there was a stream. I feel like that was probably the most well-rested I've ever felt.
Somewhere calm and serene, overlooking a body of water, maybe the ocean, maybe a lake house, wherever I need to be away from people, people and kids, but also maybe surrounded by people you love quietly.
I do not rest enough. No, I do not rest enough. I don't.
I do not feel like I rest enough.
No, I am in grad school, so rest is a secondary option to studying and getting all my work done.
No. So besides being a teacher, I also work at a warehouse after 4 days out of the week. So
I feel like I'm getting back to getting more well rested because I have a 1-year-old and then working here, but I'm getting there.
But I feel like I'm one of those people. There are some people who kind of need 8 hours every night, and I am one of those people who I can do 4 or 5 hours every night and then catch up on the weekends. So I have that very nice, I don't know, metabolism. I don't know what it is, but it's great.
I think as a society, though, this has become kind of one of our biggest illnesses that we don't even realize. I don't think as human beings we were designed to go as fast and as hard as we go. And so I think that as a society, we need to learn how to rest more, and we need to teach our children because they're stressed out, and children shouldn't be stressed out. As adults, if we are, we bring it on ourselves, right? But children should be free to be and not have to keep up with the pace or the rhythm of an kind of over-processed society, if you will. Yeah.
Are you ready to open it? Yeah. Yeah? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Open the door! And now everybody take a deep breath in and breathing in that thing you love more than anything. And now we're going to exhale it out. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Hello! Good. Thank you all.
Just thank you for everything.
So, thank you. Absolutely.
thank you. I appreciate it.
Today was so beautiful. So observing and listening to my children talk about breathing, to talk about imagination, to thank the sun and say hello to the sun, to be able to tap into kind of their central nervous system and what that feels like, to have it calm down, to stretch and to let some of that go. Simply amazing. The conversations, the comments that I heard, and just to see them in that space made me happy. I heard comments from teachers and parents. They were so grateful for the experience. And so that gratitude, I feel as well. So I'm very grateful that we had it. The quilt making and the being able to express that in art, talking about the colors of the field, the mood, the lines, and seeing young children create what that rest looks like and feels like to them was amazing. It really, it was amazing. I loved that we could slow down, change our schedule, and relax in the fact that, you know what, it's okay. It's okay that we do this and we pause for ourselves and we rest. Today was amazing to see the parent volunteers come in and experience this with their children and with the staff. For me, in my work, when I think about how I'm going to extend today beyond today, because if you have anything that's meaningful, you don't want to just have a one and done. You want it to become a part of your daily routine. So with the staff, I really want the teachers to walk away with this concept of rest, right? And when the class gets crazy, when things don't seem like they're going the way they want, or they're trying to teach a lesson, it's okay to pause and rest. Just go ahead and equalize and rest. If we can give our kids that gift to know what that looks like and feels like in school setting, that's success of today. If my staff can leave with that gift of knowing what it feels like to pause and rest, and then continue the lesson or continue the conversation or continue the professional dialogue, that's great. So a reminder for me is going to be looking for evidence of that as I walk through the classrooms, as I see my students work, as I see my teachers teach. Do I see evidence of rest in our practice, in our daily practice? So, yeah, that's what today brought for me.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, 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 hello. Hey everybody, how's everybody doing? Yeah? Yeah? Well, thanks for being here. My name is Darnell Pierre Benjamin, he, him pronouns. Thank you so much for deciding to spend your afternoon here with us to talk about rest and how can we get there, right? But first, I would love to start us off with Kara Michelle Pearson of Lilac and Indigo. She's gonna lead us through a meditation. Yes!
My name is Kara Michelle Pearson, and my goal with Lilac and Indigo is to create more space for people to reconnect with themselves, reconnect to each other, and reconnect with their world through creative meditation. In the culture that we're in the society that we're in, there's often not a lot of space and time to slow down. And my goal is to always just remind people that you are worthy of the time that it takes to slow down. You are worthy of the time that it takes to create, and you are worthy of the time that it takes to reconnect to the sound of your own voice. So I'm going to invite you to just take a moment to bring your awareness to the gravity underneath your body and feel it supporting you. Take a moment to take in all of the sounds that you hear in this beautiful park. The natural sounds of our world. I want to remind you that there are billions, trillions of cells whose only job is to make sure that you are well. This is time for you to pour into yourself. You are so worthy of that time.
Please join me in welcoming LaShonda Sugg.
Hello. Can I just say that they're a beautiful sight?
Yes.
We in a park on a Sunday. Anybody got a laptop out? Anybody doing no work? There's greenage. That fills me. So can y'all just take a look around yourself? Just for a second, to just notice that the demands of your life did not stop for you to be here, but you made a choice to be here regardless of those demands. And then can you take a moment to celebrate yourself? Come on, need my energy, y'all. Celebrate that. Hey, that's real. And collectively, when we invoke the power of rest through decisions like we're making today, we begin to help our bodies. They're like, you can't say that. You can't do that. Because our bodies are literally holding the DNA. The very DNA that didn't let our ancestors rest is still pumping through our veins. So it will go, just send that last email. And that's when you come into loving relationship with your body and say, that email ain't going nowhere. It'll be here. Right? So it's a reestablishment of relationship with self that reaches forward and backward.
Let's be real, over the past 2 years, and we can go further and say the past 6 years, we've all been in a collective trauma in this country. And I kept thinking about what can we do to move past that? What can we do to heal from that? Why this? Why rest?
Why rest is important is because rest teaches us to slow that process down enough to go, I hear you, body. I know what you want me to do, but let's pause. Right? And without that mechanism, we go. And then we oftentimes feel some form of guilt, regret after the thing is said or the thing is done. But we can work to slow that process down, to have meaningful responses with gratitude for our body for stepping in. Because if it didn't do it, we wouldn't be here. We've survived this long because of our intuitive brains and bodies. That's why we gotta love them. That's why we gotta take care of them. But we also need to give them the rest they need, because many of us are not surviving the same way we had to before.
Now, on the topic of managing that relationship with the self, obviously healing is different for everybody. Healing is different for everybody, how you come to that. But what is your advice on even starting that conversation with yourself about how to heal?
Yes, thank you. So I start by saying, don't start with a conversation.
Oh,
It's cool.
I'm learning. I told y'all. I'm still learning. I told y'all.
So we live in a very cognitive culture that's always talking about what we gotta say. The relationship with our body is not through words, right? So there is a portion of your brain, the limbic system down, that functions exclusively through sensations and pictures, okay? Then there is a part of your brain, the cortexes, that function in words and pictures. And the only thing that gets a passport between those two lands that allow our brains and our bodies to integrate are pictures. It's why sometimes you can feel a sensation, but you can't come up with a word for it. You can be thinking a thought, but you can't feel it in your body. But when we move into the space of visualization, now we can integrate those parts of ourselves. So what Kara masterfully did when she had us ground is evoke the power of visualization. What does rest and what was the other one? Nourishment mean to you? Visualize that. Because the brain doesn't know the difference between history, reality, and imagination. And so when we take time to visualize resting on that beach, climbing that mountain, walking through that forest, being at peace and harmony with our bodies, all of a sudden, your body begins to mobilize or settle around what you're visualizing. And so we begin this process not by trying to talk ourselves into or out of anything, but very literally visualizing what we want for our bodies. Slowing down. If any other relationship in our lives were like the relationships we have with our bodies, we would not settle for it. And one of the most empowering things that I think all of us can experience is recognizing that we don't have to do what we've always done. That was revolutionary for me, because my body tells me I have to do what I've always done. It acts real fast. And it's not just stopping the generational trauma going forward in my children and their children's children, but I'm healing from my ancestors. When we refuse to rest, it is a direct slap in the face of our ancestors who did not get to.
Thank you, Darn. So what I want to do, just as we begin to move back out there, is ask you to think about a couple of things. What has occurred today that touched you, that struck you, that might have even made you go, aha, that really helps me understand something about myself, about rest, about trauma, about resilience, which is the key word with trauma. Humans are incredibly resilient. So anything inspired you to be resilient? And if so, would you like to share that? So, yes, sir.
You know, what struck me, even though I've kind of known this, when she said that activism is a trauma response, it just kind of blew me away. I'm like, oh my God, so all this time that I've been doing this stuff, it's been because of trauma. And I think the other thing that really struck me is that, you know, we talk about resilience, and resilience is a good thing, but my thought is, I don't want to be resilient right now. I want to rest. And I'm tired of being resilient. And so that's exactly where I am. It's like, I'm just tired of being resilient. I don't have it in me right now.
And that's absolutely okay. Activists need to take a break once in a while as well. Yes.
I just like to it really spoke to me that our body is always trying to talk to us and send us signals, and we've kind of been conditioned to ignore those. So I think that's something that I'm going to take away, is that I want to listen to my body more, and when I do things to take care of it, like stretch or drink water, that there's an effect. It's a positive effect, and that I want to encourage myself to recognize those positive effects when I do take care of myself.
Great. I think it's really important that when we have a feeling, even if we don't like the feeling, it's coming from somewhere, and being aware of that, even if we don't like it, because then we figure out, I don't like this, where's it coming from, what can we do?
Feel if there's any difference in your body. Reflection is such a big part of when we're doing body work, reflecting on how does my body feel differently than it did before, for better or for worse.
And notice that's feeling, that's not necessarily thought. That was one of the things the speaker said, is we tend in our society and our environment to be very cognitive. I need to understand why this is happening. It's okay to feel stuff and not understand it. It's okay. Yes, ma'am. Say that again.
Be you, they'll adjust.
Be you, they'll adjust. Yes. Any last comment? Any last thing someone would like to give us as we go back out into the crazy world that we have sometimes? Yeah.
That we teach people how to treat us by how we treat ourselves.
Yes.
Ooh, no, I want to hear that on the mic again.
We teach people how to treat us by how we treat ourselves.
Yes. That's always important to keep in mind. And some of that stuff comes from we were little kids and we watched other people around us, or all those developmental years or whatever. That's very important. And couple that with whoever said, if they don't like how you're treating yourself, it's their problem, not yours.
Thank you all. Look forward to do great things in the world. Spread love and rest.
Rest. Reset. Rest. Reset. Breathe. Rest. Reset. Rest. Reset. Breathe. Rest. Reset. Rest. Reset. Breathe. Reset. Rest. Reset. Breathe. Overachiever. Overqualified. Persistent. Driven. Beauty while smiling to protect my peace. I know working hard is a part of my family tree. So don't question the divine you see. These blessings were created for my ancestors' wildest dreams. Yet you test me. You test me. I'm tested without remorse. Discouraged from the time I received the degree that was earned, questioned, double-checked. Rest.
Inside was something I always tried to hide. Since I became aware of this new side of me that I was even a bit confused and perplexed to see, grappling with this new part of myself that's always in the glacier of my being, of my insides, transformed myself into this caged bird without even knowing. Only to realize the views from the inside would be the only thing I would see for a while. 5 years trapped in this closet, bird cage, I'm trying to paint the picture. Wings undeveloped, strained, feathers have been plucked and sold for others' fortune and fame. A caged bird looking at views from inside of the cage. Weak and dainty, the views absent of this bird's mind are the things that seem to keep the bird alive. Fed nothing but the minimum. They thought they were feeding the bird nice words for her soul, confused as to why each day the bird looked more worn and old. Views from inside the cage, they stopped this bird from even trying to fly, from picking out its true colors. The bird was angry. She wanted to know why. Why then when she found her true destiny, they felt threatened and locked her away. So ribcage views are all the bird sees day after day. From dawn until dusk, the caged bird paces in the most nervous way. She wants to break free in all of her truth and glee, to fly and be with the wind, to sing until she chirps out. From autumn until winter, she wishes to fly and break free. Feathers growing stronger because the caged bird has always been able to see. From winter into spring, she continues to wonder why she let them cage her for so long, why she let their opinions get in the way of her morning song. From spring into summer, she transforms and sees she needs to find a way out. Each night practicing her song in hopes that one day she will make herself proud. You see, the caged bird has always been able to see. The views of the cage gave her the ability to read in between the lines. She always knew the door was open to fly, but let others around constrain her life. The latch on the cage had never been locked. The words of others and hate around caused the bird to grow comfortable in her box. And so day after day, the bird made the closet, her cage, a comfortable home, an area where no one could bother her, and their opinions were all wrong. They were all wrong. You see, the caged bird never lost her morning song. The caged bird was just afraid to sing. She was scared they would know how talented she was and all that she had to bring. They thought the caged bird was weak, but when her feathers grew in the summertime, very strong. They knew the caged bird was somebody all along, and on one summer morning, she would decide it was the day to fly. The closet, her cage, the closet, it was no home to the caged bird anymore, and she knew she'd rather live out loud, even if it brought hate and people she loved would run out. And so on a blissful morning, the caged bird opened the door, and she felt the breeze. She felt the wind in her feathers and the sunshine and the trees. As the caged bird leaped off the edge of the cage, at first she was scared to fly, but her wings started to carry her, and all along she knew she was the reason why. As the caged bird ascended in the sky, every animal saw that her feathers were so bright, and all around everyone knew she would reach incredible heights, bigger than her bird's eye view, bigger than what everybody else knew. The caged bird will live for generations, and I hope she inspires you. Thank you, the caged bird.
Rest.
To me, rest is a place where you're away from all the noise of like life. Rest is it's not like sleep. It's like it's refueling like your body, your soul. That's rest. I don't get to rest a lot because work, but I really enjoy nature, being in the nature. A lot of times I'll stay in my hammock outside overnight and it's quiet. I hear birds chirping, it feels nice outside. I'll write or I'll just be somewhere out in nature by myself.
Reset.
It's about taking a pause, a deep enough pause to like reconnect to self, reorient to like some of the why. Why do I show up for my community in the way that I do? Do I show up for myself in the way that I do? So reflection. And I think rest gives us a chance to like connect to ourselves, each other,